And we're rolling. Welcome to the Grease Stain Cinema, where we like our popcorn greasy and we like our movies sleazy. Um, I'm your greasy host, Clint, and I'm joined with a very special guest, one Marilyn Knapp. How are you? That's pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
Been a
good.
while since we talked.
It's been a while. Yep.
Yeah. I was digging through the old YouTube streams and I was like, when was the last time we talked?
It's been 84 years.
And I came up with November of 2023. So
That sounds right. Yep.
it's been a little while.
Yeah.
So I've gone through like two shows since then. So I started on the Amityville Horror. That's where I met you and we talked and first got acquainted. Then I did a little stint with another friend of mine. We called that the Scream Until You Like It podcast. And that was very short-lived. But now I've decided to do my own thing where I talk about a lot of independent projects. And here we are with Grease Stain Cinema. And I was very happy to stay connected with you and Jason and all the gang with Lucid Lake Pictures.
Yes.
And I'm glad that we're getting another opportunity to talk. But since I may or may not have a new viewing audience, I kind of wanted to rehash some like background information if that's possible.
Sure.
So you're still in the Fayetteville, Arkansas area?
Yeah, I am. Northwest Arkansas is super awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
Well, you must like it there. You're still there. So
Yes. I've been here since like 94. So yeah, I do like it.
oh wow. Well, you've grown roots and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. I never strayed far from Pennsylvania. I'm still here. I mean, I left home and went about 15 miles away. So
I'm run away. 15 miles. I'm done.
that's right. So if I change my mind, I can come back,
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. But it's always been home. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that Arkansas feels like home.
Yeah.
Last I checked, you were a member of Women in Film Arkansas. Is that still an active group?
It is very active, and they do a lot around the state.
Mm-hmm.
Northwest Arkansas and Little Rock, Central Arkansas, Hot Springs, and Conway. So they're all, like up in here. Not in the Delta so much,
Mm-hmm.
just because there's not that many people down there. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's geography and population and stuff. But yeah, they are totally active, and I love it when they're able to do opportunities up here. I missed out on a couple that recently have been, yeah, in Little Rock and stuff. But I always look forward to any opportunity that they can give me.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like they're really into promoting women who work in film, and it's nice that they try to find you opportunities and um, make them available to you. I mean, that sounds like a really great thing to be a part of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been, I think, a member for about 6 years now, maybe. Yeah, around
Okay.
that time. So
All right.
yeah.
Well, I don't mean to pick on their website very much, but I did look at it again today, and I looked at your listing, and I think it's due for some updating. Your
That could be.
yeah, your bio on there looks like it has a couple of things that need to be changed. Not much, not much. They still
I'll check
have you.
into it. I'll check into it.
Yeah, they still have you listed as working at the Arkansas Archaeological Society. So that's no
Yes,
longer current.
that's been the okay. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
and and it said that you're a proud grandmother of three grandchildren and another one on the way. So I'm sure that's different now too.
I've got 6 with another one on the way. So
Wow. Okay. The
how
family
funny.
keeps growing. So now you're very proud. All right.
I am.
So yeah, like I said, I'm not picking on them. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's like scrolling down through people who are working in different areas of Arkansas, where they're from and what they've done, and they put links in there, which is really cool. So like if you wanted to click on somebody's IMDb link, you can go straight to it. That's cool. Or if you got an acting reel or something like that, that's pretty neat. Somebody's little brainchild there is really working out, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. And of course, you're a part of the Lucid Lake Pictures team, which I mentioned previously. I like to say, I like to call you a repeat offender. I just think it sounds more menacing. Um,
The court finds you guilty.
I like that.
so, the background stuff I was talking about, is it fair to say that you wanted to be an actor for most of your life?
Pretty much since I was 6 years old, and pursued that as much as I could as a child in high school. And my parents supported me. I had an agent in Phoenix when I was like 17 years old, but I wanted to grow up and get out of my parents' house. And so I got a job, and that kind of took me away from being able to do much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met my husband, I mean, my former husband, and, life takes a turn. And it wasn't until about whenever True Detective came to town, which I think was about 2018, like March of 2018. And
Okay.
I was able to get on set with that. And yeah, that sparked my acting bug again. And I went, this is what I want to do. So,
Yeah. I was going to ask that. At what
yeah,
point did you just finally make the decision? This is what I
yeah,
want to pursue. So around
yeah.
2018?
Yeah. And then True Detective aired in 2019. I'd already done a couple of small, like, background things. And yeah, and then it just kind of like every opportunity that I could fit in with my job, I would try to take them.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well, juggling is always difficult.
Yeah.
Um, I had a similar thing when I was younger. I had these lofty ideas of like becoming a radio DJ or something like that, and of course I did same thing. Went did something else. Life got in the way. I took this long journey, and then in my 40s, I'm like, I'll do a podcast. What the hell?
Right. Well, you have a great voice. So
Oh, thank you very much. When did you meet Jason Pitts?
during the pandemic,
Oh, okay, around 2020.
2020, early, um, it was through Facebook. And I worked from home as much as I could, but I was also very interested in acting, so I started following all these like Facebook pages on acting and casting calls and things like that. And I got onto Real Arkansas, REEL Arkansas, and
Okay.
Jason posted about, hey, I want to do this movie and I need cemeteries. And yes, I love cemeteries. I did archaeology. So that was my thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go help him out. And I'm going to like scout out some cemeteries. I can do that. There's plenty where I live. And we had a little bit back and forth. I sent him pictures and stuff. And then the next thing I know, hey, do you act? And I'm like, well, yes, I do. And so I auditioned and I got the role of Patty in Alone. That's how I'm,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Alone was your first project with him?
Yes. Yeah.
Actually on camera, I mean.
Yes, yes. No,
Okay.
very first. I didn't know him or anybody else, but
Hmm.
everything, I mean, he's cool. I liked him. We did a lot of talking. We talked about the character, and boom, there I am. It was super cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah,
Um, I remember liking Alone, and then the follow up to that, Masquerade, I thought
yeah,
was wonderful as well.
yeah,
Um, and the way I understood it, the Alone was supposed to be a saga,
yeah.
where you were going to wrap it up with a longer um, movie called Lonely Echoes. Um,
Lonely Echoes, and then after that, Unmasked. Maybe.
I forgot about
So
that.
there
There
was
was supposed
supposed
to
to
be a
be
fourth.
four,
Yeah,
but and that that's fine. But what happened out of that was the forest through the trees.
yeah,
So that's very cool, and I'm really fortunate to have been a part of that too.
yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely, for sure. Um, so you've been in several of his projects since Alone. So when the Stairs Creek comes to mind,
Hmm.
um, and I did catch that 72-hour film you guys made, Take It Slow.
Yes,
Um, that was really sweet.
it was.
The had a very simple story, very nice message. Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
one of those tear jerkers if you're not careful. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, and I thought that came together really well.
yeah,
And to think that, that was, a 72-hour film
yeah.
project. I mean, that's a very short amount of time to throw something together. The only ones that I can think of are shorter than that are the 48-hour
48.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it turned out really well for being one of those tight time frame movies.
Mm. Well, that's a tribute to Jason and his team,
Mhm.
everybody that stepped up to do that. Um, you know, cinematography and sound and makeup, and I mean, everybody just came together, and
Yeah.
boom, we did it. And it was terrifying because I had lines and I kept going, I can't remember these. So, anyway, they were very patient with me, and it was a great experience, even though it was very terrifying.
Oh, I imagine. I
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
I I almost lost my mind in an appearance that I did this past weekend. And who would have thought that it's different standing in front of 100 people talking than it is just talking to myself into a computer on the
Right.
internet.
Right.
But spoiler alert, it's different.
It is very different. I used to do a lot of that public speaking stuff,
Okay.
giving presentations with archaeology and things.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's a different, totally different mindset. You really got to get geared up for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So thankfully I survived it, and I think it went okay. But
Of course you survived it, and it did go okay.
yep. All right. Well, the forest through the trees. That's what we came here to talk about. I wanna do that. And for the people who are watching along, I'm gonna drop a trailer here.
What's happening to her?
Excruciating pain. Pardon me. Hate to interrupt.
What do you want?
Well, it's time to prepare yourself. Tonight at midnight, we begin. That's right. Ooh, you're a smart one. That's why we had to wait and watch you for so long.
What are you gonna do to me?
Small ritual. The ritual has 3 phases. First phase is simple enough. Blood sacrifice. The second phase, well, now, that is a little more complicated. The vessel That's you. Oh, never. My girl.
What's the third case?
Demon in some eyes. He will build a beautiful utopia on Earth. Does that sound like something a demon would do?
You really are insane.
We'll see. It's almost midnight. I must prepare our special guest.
So I've been aware of this project for a while. And I actually also bought a copy of the script back during that. I remember that Jason had written a script, and if I remember correctly, he said this was actually the second draft of the script. And he had entered it into a script writing contest. And one of the things that happened if you made it as finalist was they would publish your script and make it available on Amazon and send it out, as they were ordered, which I took advantage of that. I think it was like $10. I mean, it was very reasonable.
Yeah.
And I was happy to do it. What little that helped. I know that ended up backing much of this project on his own. Mm-hmm. So I feel like maybe the crowdfunder didn't go as well as planned. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to gamble on myself because I believe in this project that I'm making. I'm just going to secure the money, and we're going to make the movie no matter what happens. And you got to have a lot of confidence in yourself for that. I really got to say, and he should, in all reality, with the amount of support that he has, and the amount of fine people he has to work on projects with him. I mean, why wouldn't he have a certain level of competence? And the story's good. So, I mean, I read through the script. And I was very excited that when you let me know that Jason was looking for people to review the movie, and he was very selectively giving out screeners to do that. So I did see the movie, which I was very pleased with that. I thought it was great.
I'm glad.
and since then I did a spoiler-free review video of that, and I think it's one of my better performing videos. Like a lot of people that I wasn't expecting, decided to tune in and watch that.
Yeah, it was very fun the way you did it, the way you presented it. It was so cool and so fun. Very enjoyable. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. I feel like I should have taken one or two more takes, because some of my expressions I feel like didn't come across as well as I would have liked. But I was like, nope, we're putting it out.
Well, as an actor, every time you do something and you go, oh, I could have done that better, just another take,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you did great. You're fine.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So how early were you signed on to this project?
I knew about it. I knew the story. Like you, I bought that script book, read through it, had some conversations with Jason, but I knew that I needed to audition, which is really all I want to do. I want to earn my place. So I auditioned, and I don't know, a week, I don't know how long went by. And then Jason told me I had it. One of the things that I really loved was my character has a little dog. And I thought, well, if I don't get Mrs. Thompson, at least I can be on set as a dog handler with my dog. Because I'm pretty sure Truffles would have been right there and great. And so I was excited about that either way.
Well, I'm glad he liked your audition and gave you the part.
Very good.
and I thought that your character came across very well. I don't want to say too much about it, but you were exactly what I think you were supposed to be.
It definitely was very fun, and I had a good time with it. And it always helps when you're on set with actors that you can bounce off of, you know.
Hmm.
And like Annie Sullivan and Olivia Disney and James Stokes.
Yeah,
Holy cow! And it was a great experience, and
yeah,
I'm so grateful.
yeah. Well, you mentioned a few people just now, and those were all solid performances. Annie Sullivan, I had not seen her before, and I felt that she was excellent
Yeah,
as Chloe. And of course, Olivia gave another strong performance, and we got to see multiple facets of her character, which I thought was great. James Stokes, I had never seen this type of range out of him before. I mean,
yeah,
I'm used to seeing him like as a suit actor with no lines, or as somebody who's like playing a police officer or something like that, and you just have like a very like professional, straightforward tone. This opened up a world of him that I had never seen,
yeah.
and I was very happy to see it. That was one of the first things I said to Jason when I was watching the movie. I was like, first impressions, James killed it. I
Yeah.
mean, so this is definitely one of those things that you kind of have to see for yourself. So I
Good.
really hope that a lot of people do get to see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they will definitely. We have distributorship now, so at some point that will happen.
Hmm.
We don't know where exactly, but we also have some screenings coming up. The soonest one is in Hot Springs, Arkansas, which
I
is
saw that. I got the press release right here. That was
it's an amazing city full of history, and it's beautiful, and you can make a whole weekend of it if you want. That happens on February 22nd at the Central Cabaret and Nightclub. Um, Tickets are like, $10, and you can order them through Eventbrite or get them at the door, but you can also go to lucidlakepictures.com and go through that avenue if you want to too. But
okay.
it's really fun. It's an old theater. It's when you get in there and you're just looking around, you go, wow, this is so old. But it's really cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love old theaters. That's part of the inspiration for the name of my show. The
Yeah.
grease stained cinema. It's like I love those old places,
Yeah.
that have like intricate woodwork, and just have the right amount of dinginess.
Right. But the lights coming down are
Yeah.
amazing. They're just hanging there like they're chandeliers, but they're not chandeliers. They're just like hanging over everything. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds lovely. I would love to see it. Maybe
Good.
maybe somebody will post some pictures of what the inside of that place looks
Oh
like.
yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll, yeah.
So you just had your first screening of this movie back at the end of January, I think on the 27th.
Yeah,
You,
that was Jason's birthday actually. Y-
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the premiere was massive. I mean, I can't imagine trying to put together something like that, but it was held locally in Fayetteville, and there was a full red carpet with the velvet ropes and
Nice.
photographers, local TV station. There was a drone, going around going, oh, I see everybody. And people were dressed up. Lots of
Mhm.
people came out. One of the big highlights was that Twyla Foster put this together.
Okay.
She, yeah, and she had connections with a local car club, and
Okay.
So special cars, like beautiful cars, old cars, fancy cars, everything. And she put together, I think, 6 cars to take the main actors, actors, from point A to point B, drive up next to the red carpet, and they get out and and walk the red carpet. It was so cool. It was
That
so
sounds
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that'd be neat. I would like that. Roll up in a vintage car,
yeah,
get out and just strut up the red carpet. That'd be awesome.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. I was reading in that press release that the distribution company that picked up the movie is Bayview Entertainment.
yes,
So that's exciting. They're the ones who put out Skinamarink. Um,
I believe so. Yeah. And I watch a lot of films
mhm.
and mostly horror, but I do, you know, delve into a whole bunch of other genres
Mhm.
because I love them all. I love movies. But I've seen so many on different streaming services like Netflix and I don't know, Hulu and whatever. The Forest Through the Trees, so much better. So many of them. And there are a lot of good ones out there, but I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing too. I like to get on those free streaming sites and just pick something out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
knowing that it's an independent, and kind of just see what my thoughts are on it. I'm always looking for that next really great one, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and I love it when people share them with me. They're like, "Oh, hey, have you seen this one?" No, I
Yeah.
haven't. They're like, "Check that one out." So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's it's pretty cool. Like I've grown addicted to watching uh, indie movies of all sorts. So, but a few more things on the Forest Through the Trees. Um, how many days did it take to film? Do you know?
I think it was 15 total
Okay.
over 3 week, like a week, and you shoot like 5 days and then skip a week and then shoot another 5 days. And Jason had to work around his schedule and other people's schedules.
Right.
It's like a miracle. That's what they say. It's a miracle whenever a movie gets made. And
Hmm.
he worked really hard to pull this together. So I want to say it's 15 days. And the first week, all every shot, every scene was at night.
I haven't seen the sun in years.
It was an overnight shoot.
Okay.
That was a little crazy. If you think about it, you start shooting, well, you get there at 6, you start shooting at like 9:30, 10, and then you finish up before dawn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, every night.
Wow. That's a rough schedule.
It is. But then after that, it got easier. So,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, yeah, my internal clock would be ruined.
Yeah, no, I was messed up after that. And I was only on set for like 3 days, not the whole
Okay.
thing. So, yeah, I was,
Okay.
I can't go to sleep.
Yeah, you feel like you need to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, so I found it interesting that he chose to do like a demon cult movie. Because and personally, and I don't know, I might be off the mark, and I don't know if you agree, but I kind of feel like demon cult movies are difficult to make, just because like there's a lot of world building in that, um, to create your cult society, and everyone has to seem like normal to outsiders, and then but then be 100% loyal to the cult and totally dedicated to the same goals. And there's a dichotomy to all those characters, and they have to like create this eerie creepiness. Um, that has to come out. I think some movies have a tough time achieving that, and I was just curious how successful you felt that was.
Uh, well, first of all, the story
Mhm.
opens up with like what's going on here, what's happening, and then you get to the family that's involved, and it builds and it builds and it builds. There's a mystery to it,
Mhm.
and it just keeps building, and there are many layers to it, which you don't see right away, but they do open up later.
Yeah.
And then yeah, once that door has been opened, it really plays out, and you can really understand all the nuances that was happening earlier. And that's one of the reasons why I love the story so much. Um, my husband accompanied me to the premiere, and I was watching him as he was watching the film,
Mhm.
and he just kept having this big smile on his face because he's like, "Oh, oh," it just kept building. And later he was talking to Jason, and he's like, what I loved about it was the story builds. It's not, it's totally different than like a slasher film where you just know, oh, everybody's, gonna die.
Right.
It's character driven and it builds really well. And then you discover things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Nicely put. And for many of those reasons, that's exactly why I thought it was successful. I
Yeah.
mean, that creepiness that I'm talking about, that eeriness, that quality really came through, and it was very artfully told. Like
Yeah.
as you said, like the story had to develop before certain other things made sense.
Right.
Um, and yeah, and once the doors are all open, as you said, it really accelerated. I
It
mean,
did. Yeah.
it just took off, and you get a pretty wild ride at the end,
Yeah.
and it was I can't say enough wonderful things about it. It was really fantastic. So your character is Mrs. Thompson. How
Yep.
would you describe your character carefully?
She, well, I mean, she's like me, like an old lady.
Okay.
Uh, I envision her, from the get-go as a widow because there's no sign of her husband there.
Mhm.
Everybody knows her as Mrs. Thompson.
The Mrs. Pickman in the book is a lunatic who chops her husband into coleslaw. That sweet old thing that we met downstairs isn't capable of anything worse than dipping her dentures into her husband's beer.
And she has a little dog. And I figured, well, she probably got that little dog to keep her company.
Mhm.
She moved into Chloe and Ken's neighborhood and probably, you know, moved on from her other life with the big house with the husband who's not there anymore.
Yeah.
She moved into the neighborhood, and because she's by herself with only her dog, she pretty much just, walked around the whole neighborhood, saying hello to everybody and taking her little dog with her. And, but she's been aware of Chloe for the time that she's been there
Mhm.
and knows that her mother disappeared. So she's very concerned about Chloe and the family because she knows Ken and Ava too. And so that's the way I think of her as like a little neighborhood watch lady, kind of just walking around.
Seeing what's going on.
seeing what's going on, interacting, that's how I look at her. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you make any special preparations as you were getting ready to play your character? Like watch a bunch of cult movies or or anything like that?
I've already seen a whole bunch, so um no, I just because I've played older women like that before, and I am an older woman. I feel like that I kind of already kind of understand what she may be like, how she feels. Um, and all I did really was to go over the script a bunch of times, make sure I fully understood the relationships of all the characters, and then brought it back to, okay, how do I relate to the people that I'll be interacting with? And I kept going over that and over that. Yeah. And so that's pretty much preparation I did.
Excellent. Well, that's good enough. I mean, not everybody has to immerse themselves in cult material to get ready
Yeah.
to play.
Seen a whole bunch of them. Whatever.
I was just curious. It's just one of those things that I always
Yeah.
wonder about.
Yeah.
So was this movie a really fun experience for you?
It really was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I get the impression that, the Lucid Lakes team is kind of like a family environment.
Yeah. We definitely care about each other, and it is a family. And yeah, I'm very fortunate to be a part of it.
Yeah, I would say so. You should feel fortunate. I feel fortunate to know so many of you. Um, so, what would you say is the best thing about working with Lucid Lake Productions or Pictures? I mean,
It's I would say the fact that Jason is always he knows what he wants to do. He knows how to make it happen, to bring people on, people that are skilled, knowledgeable, positive, and bring them on. And like he already has, is build a family, but make sure that each production includes people that are skilled to that production. And by doing that, it's very focused, very targeted, and he gets the job done that way.
nicely said. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on here. I feel like I've kept you long enough. It's so good to catch up with you again. So I'm glad that we did that. Thanks for indulging all my silly questions. And good luck with the Bayview Entertainment distribution. Good luck with the next screening of the film on February 22nd in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I'm probably going to put a link to your website, lucidlinkpictures.com, in the description of this video. So anybody who might be thinking about, being in that area and seeing that, or a couple of the later ones are happening, you'll know where to go to do that. So I guess I'll just close it out by saying my soon to be famous phrase: you don't need a big budget to make a badass movie. And cut.